Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Dónde estás ahora? ¿Estás en Chicago? ¿Estás en California? ¿Estás en México? ¿Dónde estás? Estoy en México. Estoy aquí tomando café. No es soda. By the way, people go, oh, es soda? I'm like, no, no es soda. Es café frío. Cold. Es café frío. Okay? Estoy tomando café frío. That's handheld realia, by the way. Puse 30 minutos en el reloj. Remember el reloj? 30 minutos. How many minutes? ¿Cuántos minutos? 30 minutos, como siempre. That's handheld realia. Category uno. Tengo mi cuaderno. That's a statement. Tengo, I have, is the verb starting point. Tengo mi cuaderno. Question for you, yes, no question. ¿Tienes tu cuaderno? Sí, tengo mi cuaderno. ¿Tienes tu cuaderno? Sí. I wrote from the past tense of the verb timeline because it's already happened. I wrote dia 16. How do you say I wrote? That's a good verb starting point cup container. Escribí. Say it with me. Escribí. The accent on the end. Escribí. Okay, so this is a statement from the past tense. Happens to be escribí día 16. Say it with me. Día 16. Okay, so escribí día 16 en mi cuaderno. ¿Tú escribiste día 16 en tu cuaderno? Muy bien. Sí, hoy es día 16 de nuestro curso de español en video de 20 días. Ayer, en día 15, hablamos de las categorías de realia, ¿verdad? Hablamos de las cosas que se pueden agarrar, las cosas que se pueden ver o señalar con un dedo. Hablamos de las cosas que pasan en general, hablamos de las cosas de la memoria y hablamos de las cosas que vienen de la imaginación. I hope that's become like some kind of language mental map that you superimpose on your life and think of the levels of tangibility of the realia that I may want to talk about in Spanish. Here's what we're going to do. Let's go uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Best you can. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Va? Categoría uno, this is going to be realia categories. We're going to play with this in a way today, okay? Uno es things you can hold. So just as a quick index, H. Dos es 0.2, so a little letter P underneath the two. Things that happen in general, G under 3. Memory, M under 4. And imagination, I under 5. I think you can imagine what I would do there, okay? So, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Hold 0.2, general. You know the drill. Now, if we bring in the idea of 1, 2, 3 verb cups, I'm not going to draw them this time. Let's just collapse them into 3 lines. Uno, dos, tres. Statements about things you can hold. Yes, no questions about things you can hold. And open-ended questions about things you can hold. A statement is, this is a pen. Yes, no question, is this a pen or is it a book? It's a pen statement. Open-ended question, what? ¿Qué? What is this? ¿Qué es esto? Right? So 3. I'm not going to even write that. Just bear with me as we outline this structure. I'm going to go uno, dos, tres, uno, dos, tres, uno, dos, tres, uno, dos, tres, uno, dos, tres. Okay? A bit tedious to write it all out, but it's not that hard. So we're going to do that. Right? This is what we can call a realia chart. So if I refer to the realia chart, you'll know that it is a XY matrix of category realia and statements, yes, no questions, open-ended questions, okay? This does not leave me enough space to really do anything, right? There's not enough space. No hay espacio. Pero we can grab category 1 and just pretend like you copied it, like we're on a spreadsheet. You just copied it down here, and it's going to leave space to the right here. So watch what we do. We're going to take category 1, which is things you can hold, and go 1, 2, 3. Just to give ourselves some room to play, yeah? Okay. We've already done that this is a pen. So what else could we do? You could do anything. As long as you can hold it and you can say something about it, you have enough to begin setting this process in perpetual motion, okay? Things you have would work, right? Remember what I said, I have my notebook. Let tango be your verb starting point. Sometimes I draw a square, sometimes I draw a whole cup, you know the drill. But anything you may have right now, so I have a hat, I have a this, I have a microphone, I have a camera, I have a phone, I have a this, I have that. I have my notebook. Say it with me, tengo mi cuaderno. Let cuaderno be any, vocab as always, but tengo mi cuaderno. Va? Okay, let's write that. Tengo mi cuaderno. Question for you. ¿Tienes tu cuaderno? ¿Tienes tu cuaderno? Hey, you got your backpack? You got your pen? You got your book? You got your this? You got your that? ¿Tienes this? ¿Tienes? Ask me, Tony, ¿tienes tu cuaderno? Sí. Go back to 1. Sí, tengo mi cuaderno. Muy bien. What do you have? Help me out here. ¿Qué tienes? What do you have there? What you got in your hand? ¿Qué tienes? All right, ask me what I have. ¿Qué tienes? Tengo mi lapicero. Tengo mi cuaderno. Tengo mi café. Tengo mi teléfono. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué tienes? Anything you'll ever hold in your hand, I can ask you, ¿qué tienes? And you say, I have my passport. Tengo mi pasaporte at the airport. I got my tickets. Tengo mis boletos. Tengo mis boletos. ¿Va? You can say anything. Let's grab category 2 and say things you can point to, and then do another round of 1, 2, 3. All right. Categoría número 2, cosas que puedes señalar con el dedo. 1, 2, 3. What's a statement about something I can point to? It doesn't have to, I'm telling you, it can be anything. Look, the roof is red. It's not even, it's borderline silly. It's a borderline one of those apps that just tell you, oh, you're going to learn to say the roof is red. But now we're not just blindly following the app that tells you that you're supposed to learn to say the roof is red for some reason. We're saying it because we know where it fits in the bigger picture of this entire process. Something I can point to is the roof is red. So I'm just going to say el techo. El techo is the roof. Say it with me, el techo. I learned techo now because of this game. Is red. Say it with me, es rojo. So el techo es Rojo. That's supposed to be a period. I started to write a question, but it's a period. All right. El techo es rojo. Look around and tell me what color something is. Get it? Like, oh, the sky is blue, right? El cielo es azul, right? In my case, el techo, over there in this little garage thing, el techo es rojo. Yes, no question. El techo es rojo. Ask me, Tony, is el techo es rojo? And really, you got to put some feel into that to let me know you're asking. Yeah, like, are you asking? El techo es rojo. No. El techo es rojo? And I'm going to say, sí. El techo es rojo. What if you said, what color is the roof? You have all the words you need. ¿Qué color? Say it with me. ¿Qué color? You can probably spell it out already. ¿Qué color es el techo? Ask me, Tony, open-ended question. ¿Qué color es el techo? If you say, ¿qué color es el techo es rojo. What about you? What color's what are you pointing at? You're pointing at the book? Okay, then I'll just switch out el techo for el libro. ¿Qué color es el libro? Look, I could borrow my notebook and your notebook, tu cuaderno, and just switch tu cuaderno out for el techo, right? So forget the roof. Who cares? There's no, what roof? I want to know what color your notebook is. That's a fine question. I should be able to ask you that in español y tú debes poder responderme en español si yo te pregunto, ¿qué color es tu cuaderno? That's my, ¿qué color es tu cuaderno? ¿Es rojo? ¿Es azul? ¿Es verde? ¿Es amarillo? Look, mi cuaderno es azul. ¿Tu cuaderno es azul? ¿No? ¿Qué color es tu cuaderno? Entonces, ¿qué color es? Anytime you ever learn anything in español, let that statement not only be a useful statement, a true statement, also let it be a teacher that teaches you everything else like it. Okay, so when I learned to say, oh, my notebook is blue, mi cuaderno es azul, I like that. I can use that. I can tell you that's a true statement. It's good. It's not out there. It's not a weird app thing that's telling me, oh, I have to learn some weird thing. No, it's a true statement. Mi cuaderno es azul. I guess I'm back on handheld anyway, but whatever, you know. So here's what I take from that. Truly, mi blank es blank, right? Because now I can say my x is my x, not my x. My x is y. Get it? My x is y. My house is this color. My car is this color, right? You could go forever there. My car is gray. Mi carro es gris. Question for you. To blank es blank. Infinite conversation. Language lends itself to instant and infinite conversation if you just grasp the pattern. Okay, so my question is, your car is gray? You know, like tu carro es gris? And you either say, sí, mi carro es gris, or no, mi carro no es gris. Tu cuaderno es azul? Sí, mi cuaderno es azul. Tu casa es blanca, whatever, right? And then on that open-ended question, say it with me. ¿Qué color es tu XYZ? ¿Qué color es tu... It says tu, trust me. ¿Qué color es tu... Okay, so 20 questions for you. ¿Qué color es tu casa? ¿Qué color es tu cuaderno? ¿Qué color es el techo? ¿Qué color es tu camisa o camiseta? You're wearing a vest, chaleco, right? You learn it as you point to it. So mi chaleco es verde. Do you have a vest? How do you say do you have? Tienes un chaleco? And it's either sí, tengo un chaleco, or no tengo un chaleco. You got a t-shirt? ¿Tienes una camisa? Sí, tengo una camisa. Mi camisa es negra, es not roja. Mi camiseta es negra. ¿Qué color es tu camiseta? This is infinite conversation on the most tangible all the way out to the least tangible. Let's go to category 3, things that happen in general. What happens in general? I always go. I'm going to collapse this in as much as I can. Uno, dos, tres. Give me a statement about things that happen in general. I always, not always, but you know how we say always. How do you say always is siempre? Say it with me, siempre. So what do you always do? Oh, I always drink coffee. Siempre tomo café in the morning, por la mañana, or por las mañanas, I guess, in the mornings, por las mañanas. Siempre tomo café por las mañanas, but look, it doesn't have to be café because we're extracting the variable now. So you could say always I drink coffee in the mornings, or always I drink tea in the mornings, or siempre tomo café en las mañanas. If that's not true, then it's no siempre tomo café en las mañanas, not always. Maybe you always drink tea. Tea is té. So siempre tomo té en las mañanas. Or you could say siempre tomo agua en las mañanas, or siempre tomo whatever. So in my case, siempre tomo café en las mañanas. I don't know if that's true for you. So I ask you the same question in the second person, yes, no question, blank. Siempre tomas. Here we're conjugating verbs, but we're not just conjugating verbs for the sake of it. We're trying to build meaningful conversation on different levels of realia. So always you drink coffee in the mornings. Siempre tomas café por las mañanas. Question for you. I really want to know. Siempre tomas café por las mañanas? Open-ended question. ¿Qué tomas por las mañanas? ¿Qué tomas? ¿Qué tomas por las mañanas? ¿Qué tomas? ¿Qué tomas? Ask me, Tony, ¿qué tomas? Siempre tomo café por las mañanas. ¿Y tú? ¿Siempre tomas café? ¿Tomas té? ¿Tomas agua? We could do general, what do you drink for, what do you eat for breakfast? Where do you often go? I always go. Not always, but you know how we say. Siempre voy means always I go. Say it with me. Siempre voy. Boy, where do you most, always go? I always go to the store to buy. I always go to the store to buy coffee. In other words, I go buy it and make it at home or something, whatever you want to say. So check this out. Siempre voy a la tienda para comprar el café. This is huge. Para comprar is literally for to buy. Okay, so para comprar. Siempre voy a la tienda para comprar el café. Question for you. Siempre vas a la tienda para comprar café? Question, pregunta. Siempre vas a la tienda para comprar el café. You can take a second to write that a little clearer than I, but you get the idea. It's the same thing. It's just vas. Because I'm asking, ¿siempre vas a la tienda para comprar café? And you just say, sí, sí, siempre voy a la tienda para comprar café. Or no, I go to, siempre voy a XYZ chain place para comprar café, maybe. Get it? Open-ended question, where do you go to buy coffee? To where do you go? Say it with me. ¿A dónde vas? ¿A dónde vas? Para comprar café. So you could fit that in. You could say, ¿a dónde vas para comprar el café, Tony? So ask me, Tony, ¿a dónde vas para comprar el café? And I'll say, oh, siempre voy a la tienda para comprar café. ¿Y tú? ¿A dónde vas para comprar el café? Things that happen in general. Let's go to things that happen in memory. Categoría número 4, and explore how 1, 2, 3, how it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. That's the slogan. Uno, dos, tres. What happens from memory? We've talked about where I went. We've said fui a la casa de mi amigo. We said fui a la playa. We said fui here and fui there, right? Let's grab a whole nother verb. It can be anything. Any statement is good to go. So something that happened from memory is is I grew up in XYZ place. Como se dice I grew up? Just give me a verb cup from the shelf. Crecí en XYZ. So I'll say crecí en North Carolina. You say crecí in New York. Say crecí en California. Crecí en, that's memory tangibility. Yeah? Yes, no question. Tú creciste en, oh, creciste en Baltimore, creciste in here, creciste in there. Where? Say it with me. ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde creciste? Say, Tony, ¿dónde creciste? What else could you ask about? Where were you born? Where did you grow up? Where's the last place you went to? Have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? I have a blank. I have. Remember how we said in past sessions, I've traveled. He viajado a XYZ. So say I've traveled to, that's a memory thing. So yeah, I've been there. I've been there. You could switch out viajado for probado. This is decidedly too fast. I'm not asking you to remember all of this or use it all right now. I'm just saying, look what you could possibly do. It's a creative tool. That's what it comes down to. Grammar is a creative tool. People approach grammar as rules. Rules tell you what you can't do. You ever notice that? There's no, like if you go to the pool, it's always no horseplay. You know, it never says, hey, you know, if you want to, you could flip off of that thing. Like it's never, rules never give you creative ideas. They only tell you what you can't do. So thinking of grammar as creative, as rules, grammar rules. You know, oh, I don't want to break the rule. Oh no, I'll get arrested by the grammar police type of thing. No, don't think of grammar as rules. Think of grammar as creative tools. Grammar is not what you can't say. Grammar is here's everything you possibly can say. Look, if I switch out viajado for probado, say it with me, probado, P-R-O-B, like to probe, ado, A-D-O, probado. Same pattern as viajado, probado. Probado means to try a food, okay? So if you've ever tried such and such food, you can say, he probado this food. We talked about el pozole, Mexican soup. Take that again. He probado el pozole. He probado, tell me everything you've tried. Número dos, question for you. ¿Has probado blank? Ask me, Tony, ¿has probado schnitzel? I don't know, ¿has probado chapulines? ¿Has probado molotes? ¿Has probado tlacoyos? ¿Has probado different Mexican foods? Tell me your country's foods. ¿Has probado this or that? What have you tried? Same pattern forever. ¿Qué has probado? Just drop the has probado down and put in the que open-ended, que open, que question. ¿Qué has probado? All right. So you were in Mexico first. What have you tried when it comes to XYZ cuisine? ¿Qué has probado? You tell me, oh, he probado pozole, he probado this, he probado that, all from memory. And finally, categoría número 5, de lo que es de la imaginación. What can I tell you that's completely intangible? I can tell you it would be good. What would be good? I don't know. We'll figure that out. But let's just say it would be good. So like what would you think if someone said, "Oh, you know what? you're gonna I don't know, like you just won something." Like, "Oh, it would be good." No? Help me out here. Sería bueno. Sería is your verb starting point, literally means it would be. All right. So if it would be good, say sería bueno. Sería bueno. If something happens, sería muy bueno. Sería muy bueno. No. Wouldn't that be good? No sería bueno. You can ask a question just like that. No sería bueno. Sería bueno, no? What are we got to think of something that we're talking about here. We're talking about traveling to Cuba. I don't know. Viajar. Say it with me. Viajar. That's to traveling, right? Viajar a Cuba. Would that be good? To practice your Spanish? Sí, sería muy bueno, ¿no? Ask me, sería bueno? And I'm like, would what be good? And you're like, viajar a Cuba para practicar el español. We know that pattern. We said I go to the store to buy. Now I can say I go to Cuba to practice, right? So traveling to Cuba in order to practice the Spanish would be very good, no? Say it with me. Viajar a Cuba sería muy bueno para practicar el español. No? It's all conjecture here. That's category 5 for you. All right. So open-ended question, what would be good? What would be good? What should we, let's brainstorm here. Say, ¿qué sería bueno? ¿Qué sería bueno? And I can say, oh, well, it would be good to, what are we talking about? To practice Spanish, para practicar el español. Bueno, lo que sería bueno es, pues sí, viajar a México, Cuba, Argentina, cualquier país hispanohablante para practicar el español. Eso sería muy bueno. Escuchar música sería bueno. Practicar la escritura en un cuaderno sería muy bueno. Hablar con amigos sería muy bueno. Y ver películas, remember movies, películas, ver películas en español sería muy bueno para practicar el español, ¿no? And you say, claro que sí, sería muy bueno ver películas en español para practicar el español. And I agree, estoy de acuerdo. Sería muy bueno ver películas, escuchar música, viajar a países hispanohablantes, practicar la escritura, practicar la lectura. Todo eso sería muy bueno para practicar el español. Let me take one. Todo eso sería muy bueno para practicar el español. You should be able to write what I wrote. like I dictate. You go rewind the tape a second if you want to go, okay. So viajar, escuchar, leer, escribir, hablar con amigos, todo eso, ya se acabó el tiempo. Todo eso sería muy bueno para practicar el español. Let's do a quick speed run through categoría 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What can you hold? ¿Qué es esto? Es un lapicero. ¿Qué color es el techo? El techo es rojo. ¿Qué pasa en general? Siempre tomo café en las mañanas. ¿Y tú qué tomas en las mañanas? Memory. Where'd you grow up? Crecí en Raleigh. I've traveled to Mexico. He viajado a México. I've he probado muchos tacos. And it would be a good idea, sería muy bueno viajar para practicar el español, ¿vale? Hasta luego. Chao.